In this video, I'm going to show you how to make tooltips and pop-up hints for Microsoft Excel so that you can click or hover over a question mark in the spreadsheet and get more information about something. And the best part is that you will control all of it. Don't forget to download the file for this one, and let's get started. Come on. Here I've got the task manager that I show you how to build in my automation course. And it's got a lot of little pieces to it, so I've added question marks that help explain everything. When you click the question marks down here, notice we have a nice little tooltip that explains what's going on. This is a one-line tooltip. Here we have multiple lines and a bit more text. And over here, if we hover over the question mark, we get the tooltip that way. So two different ways to get the tooltip. This one a little bit more discreet, and then when we click it, a little bit more in your face, so you can't say, hey, I didn't see it. And we've made the question marks red, so it's a little bit easier for Night Manager Kevin to find out where they are, but you can make them whatever color and whatever shape you need to make them. Now let me show you how to do this version of the tooltip here, where you hover over it and it will appear. This is going to be the easiest one, but the other methods are also not that difficult. The very first thing to do is go to the Insert menu, then Illustrations, and we are going to choose a shape, an image, an object, something that we would like to indicate that we are going to provide the user with more information. Well, let's go to Icons and type question. We've got a nice question mark here, or a little information icon right here as well. That can also be very helpful. I'm going to click that guy and then Insert. Now we've got our nice question mark. Well, let's click it, go to Graphics Format, and choose your color. Designers have told me it must be discreet, something like gray, but I really want to make it difficult for someone to say that they did not notice it. So how about a bright red? And we can resize it right here to make it a little bit smaller. Now the trick to get the tooltip to actually appear when we hover over it is to right click it and go to a link. Let's choose place in this document and then go to screen tip. Then we can input the message here. Use this to input and manage tasks. Okay. Now we can leave it alone, but what's going to happen if a user accidentally clicks this is it's going to go to cell A1. To make it a little bit more user-friendly, I'm going to choose a cell that is pretty much under where the question mark will go. So G5 looks like a pretty good one here. And then make sure that you have not selected a different worksheet. So Task Manager is the name of this worksheet. If you select another worksheet, we are going to be taken there if the user clicks the question mark. Then hit OK. Click away. We can hover over it. And there we go. Use this to input and manage tasks. And if the user clicks it, it goes to the cell just below where we are going to put the question mark. That way, it's not going to be confusing. The user will kind of expect that a cell around here would have been selected if we clicked it. If it's a cell far away, that can be kind of confusing. Now that's the easy tooltip, and it works pretty darn well, I've got to say. And we could do it down here also. If you wanted to copy it, we could go down here, paste it in, make this guy small, and you could put it wherever you wanted to down here. Well, let me zoom in just a little bit. Hover over it, and we get our tool tip. But since we did not update where the hyperlink goes, if I click this, it's going to go over here. So you might want to set it to E11. And to update it, all you have to do is right click, and this time go to Edit Link, change the screen tip here, or the cell reference right here. And there we go. And this version actually works really well to select the input cell when you click the question mark. Maybe I should have reversed these examples. Now let's move to the next example where this little question mark tip over here will not do anything if we hover over it, but when we click it, we get our tool tip. and we can even have a multi-line tooltips. Now this is very easy to do, but it requires a little bit of code, and I suggest that you just download the file for this tutorial and copy and paste it from there. Then we need to go to the code window, hit Alt F11 on the keyboard, or go to the worksheet tab, right-click, View Code. Then go to the Project Explorer over here. If you do not see it, go to View and Project Explorer. Then expand the section for your workbook and open up module 1 or 2. There's probably going to be only one module in the file that you download, and you are going to see code like this. All you have to do, select it, copy. You do not need to copy option explicit, it's up to you. Then go to your workbook over here and you can right-click it, insert module. Then paste the code in, and it's now in your workbook. You do not have to do anything else here. I will explain this at the end of the video, but for now we are good to go. Let's go back to the workbook. Hit Alt F11 or click the little old Excel icon right here. Now we need an icon once more, just like we did before. So let's go to Insert, Illustrations, Icons, Question. And we do not need to change the color right now. Let's focus on what's important. We have this shape, this image, this illustration. It's not going to do anything yet. What we need to do is to assign it a macro. And you may have noticed that the macro that we just copy pasted is rather small. So where is our little pop-up message? Well, right-click this image, go to Assign Macro, and here we are going to see all of the macros within the open workbook. The downloadable workbook is not going to have this many macros. Yours probably will not either. This is from the automation course where I show you how to do amazing things with Excel, so there's a lot of macros. But have you noticed in the list, we also do not see the macro that we just copy pasted. Real quick, if we look at that macro, this right here is the name of the macro. This is what should appear within that window, but it is not going to appear because we have an argument right here. Now don't worry about that. This is all part of the plan. Right-click, Assign Macro. Let's clear this out up here. What we need to do now is to type the name of the macro and then give it the value for its argument, which is the message to show. But we have a special syntax that we need to use. First up, a single quote, then the name of the macro, then space, double quote, then our message. This is a task. When you're done with the message, one double quote, then one single quote. On the US keyboard, that is exactly the same key. Then OK, click, and there we go. But how about for a multi-line message? Well, let us simply right-click this guy and go to Copy. Click over here, paste it in. Now right-click, Assign Macro. This is how we're going to edit the message. So notice the old message is already in here, but what we have is the full name of our Excel file. Then to the right, the message. Select everything and just delete it. Then we can start fresh. So what do we need for the syntax again? Single quote, name of macro, space, double quote, message. And let's make it simple. Message, line 1. Now, how do we go to the next line? You use the vertical bar. In a US English standard keyboard, you hit the button above the enter on the right. So Shift, then the button above the enter on the right. And that's how you get that little bar. So now we are on line 2. But what if we would like to go down 2 lines? Well, 2 bars. So Shift, then the little button above the enter key, 2 bars. Then we should be actually on line 4. Then we close up our message with a double quote, then a single quote, then OK. Click away, click, there you go. And this macro will travel with this workbook. Just make sure that you save it as a macro-enabled workbook. And now you have got a very easy to use tooltip that you can manage from within the worksheet interface itself. Now let's take a look at the macro. Alt F11 to go back to the VBA window, or right click down here and view code. Go to the module where you just added that macro. And the first thing is to take note of what makes your message go to the next line. Remember I said the little vertical bar character? It is right here. If you would like to change that character right there. If you would like to change the title of our message box, right here, tooltip. So you may have noticed that that appeared on the very top bar in our little pop-up window. If you want to change the name that you use to reference this, all you do is change this right here. No spaces, no funny characters. Make it easier for you to type in inside of Excel. So maybe it's better if you do something short, like just show message. And now let's take a look at the macro. This is so simple that you really shouldn't be scared to put it into your own workbook. What we have is our subroutine. That's how they always begin. Then we have the name. Now, oftentimes you are going to see like this, with no arguments, no parameters. But what this means right here is, hey, I'm going to create a variable called MSG. I'm going to make it a string. That's how you do things in programming. You say, this is going to hold some text. And that's all this does. Then down here, we take this variable that we just made, and we run it through replace. What does that do? Well, it takes our message, it locates our little new line character, our horizontal bar that we designated as the new line character, and it replaces it with a VBCRLF. Now, a little trivia. Does anybody know what this stands for without looking it up? It's kind of interesting, and I believe it's a nod to old typewriters. But at this point, we now have our message with our special character replaced with our new line characters, so that Excel knows, hey, these are separate lines. Then all we do is to create a message box. It might be easier for me to type this one out, actually. So message, control space to automatically fill that in. Then we can see the arguments. We've got prompt. We've got special characters down here that allow us to change the way that it looks. Then we have the title. For the prompt, what do we want? What do we want to output? MSG, our user supplied input. Then comma space. Now this allows us to control our input window. We don't really need to do that much. What I have done here is to use VB information. That gives us the little blue circle with the I in it. You could also use exclamation, and I believe we have, there we go, critical right here. And critical might even play a sound if I recall correctly. Let's stick with VB information. We don't need that at all, by the way. You could just skip it. And then you could go straight to the title here. And that's all for the macro. Don't forget we have an Excel AI course coming out very, very soon. And if you sign up for our weekly newsletter, you will get an additional discount on that course. But that's all for this video. Make sure to leave a comment and tell me what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And consider giving us a thumbs up, a like, a share, a hype. I ask for those things because they help us grow. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.